everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. My name is Jared. In this video, we're going to address, is Satan or his followers or people with evil spirits, are they allowed to go into the temple, get their endowments, do other things? I've actually heard this a number of times, maybe not so much on my channel, like in the comments, but I know like I've seen it other places, like on Facebook groups and stuff like that. And this isn't like a topic I really like. I've always like thought, yeah, of course, there's people that lie. They go into the temple, they defile it. It says in the scriptures that anything goes into the temple that is not pure, then it defiles the temple, and the glory of the Lord is not there. So, I just kind of figured, like, yeah, of course, there's people that go, but. Like everything, I try and back everything up, not just with scriptures, but also the words of the prophets, and get the entire full picture. And this adds to it because he has something to say about that. And also, one of the contexts in which it happens. Okay. So I have this under my spreadsheet called quotes A through Z, and this is under endowment. Okay. Before we read that, here's the update on the Flood the Earth Challenge. 5,937 copies of the Book of Mormon that have been shared. And there we go. There's the two people that I needed to make it so we didn't have a 0 day as far as number of people that have joined the challenge. So now we're at 582. Keep it up, everybody. Okay. So this can be found in the Journal of Discourses, Volume 2. Page, well, it says that I have it here, but I'll put the link for this in case you want to read the entire thing, because I was originally looking for something else, and like what always happens, I come across other things in my search, and I can't just like ignore them. I have to hurry and copy them and put them somewhere on the spreadsheet so I can refer to it later. But this is a mighty interesting discourse. I'm going to go over some other things in this later. That has to do with the times of the Gentiles. But let's go ahead and knock this one out. Okay, I'm going to pop this out. Remember, if you want to get on my spreadsheets, you can. The link is in the description below. But they are view only. And you can't pop out the cell like this, like I'm doing. But what you can do is you can copy and paste it somewhere. Or, as it's highlighted, click on the function or the formula bar up here and pull it down, and then you can see the whole thing. And if it's longer than that, then there's a scroll bar over here, and you can just scroll down. Okay, so let's get to it. This is Brigham Young. Okay, he says, last Sabbath we had an excellent discourse by Brother Aaron Farr. His spirit is good, and so is Brother Washington L. Jolly's. Brother Farr closed his remarks by saying, quote, that we are building fine houses and neglecting the temple of the Lord, end quote. This kind of goes along with, I haven't really meant to make it a theme, but we've talked about this a lot recently. Materialism, distractions, focusing on worldly things, worldly pursuits, right? And he's going to say later on, spoiler alert, he's going to say later on, yes, try and become rich. Yes, obtain education. But, look, so he says in his closing remarks, he says that we are building fine houses and neglecting the temple of the Lord, end quote. And Brother Jolly referred to the same thing in his remarks. If it would not hurt their feelings, I would say, it is none of your business if we do not build a temple here for years. I know they feel anxious to have a place for us to administer the endowments in, and so do I. Among those we administered the endowments to in Nauvoo, because remember, at this point they're in Salt Lake. So among those we administered the endowments to in Nauvoo, do you not think we administered to some who were devils? Or, in other words, full of the devil? You wish to see a temple built, and when it is done, some poor miserable beings will come up and say, we were baptized by brother so-and-so. Brother Brigham is a charming man, and what an excellent woman and his wife is. Cannot we have our endowments this winter, Brother Brigham? And they will plead with Brother Kimball and sympathize for this or that man, saying, Do not let him have or do let him have his endowment, for he is so generous and loving. He gave a sister a pair of stockings and shoes. Cannot he have his endowment? And you guys, we've talked about this concept before, that just because someone looks nice, or they know how to talk nice, or they do nice things, that doesn't mean that they're a good person, right? Wolves in sheep's clothing. Wolves need to know how to act like sheep if they're going to be successful in that mission. You have to watch a person over time and get to know them. But time really is the key factor. And you look for red flags, and you don't just fixate on just one red flag. You wait for a collection of red flags. And it's not our call, or it's not our job to judge people and be like, oh, you're not going to make it to the celestial kingdom, or whatever. But you do have to judge them for your own sake, whether that's a good influence for you or not, if you should um, draw closer to that person or maybe distance yourself, right? So anyway, oh look, he got this sister a pair of stockings and shoes. So can't he have his endowment? He's so nice. Okay, Brigham Young. Well, he gets his endowment, and what for? To go to California and reveal everything he can, and stir up wickedness and prepare himself for hell. I would rather see this people cleansed and give the righteous their endowments after they have waited a while. Let the poor and those who are humble before the Lord have the first chance. I shall not build the temple, nor commence to put one piece of hewn stone upon the foundation, or plane, a board, or stick of timber for that building until the temple lot is fenced. If this people will pay 1/5 of the tithing that is due, we can build all that we wish. I will venture to say that brothers Far and Jolly never counseled their brethren where they have been laboring to come up here and pay their tithing, and yet they look to me and my brethren to do it all, to send the gospel to the nations, to build temples, and watch day and night over the interests of this kingdom. And they have not even mouthed tithing, or if they have merely touched upon it. And when they get here, they whisper in my ear, Brother Brigham, handle them carefully on tithing, for they know but little about it. You guys, things don't just happen by magic, right? Tithing, it's obviously a spiritual. All the commandments are spiritual in nature; they're not temporal. And the spiritual portion of it is this: are you willing to sacrifice to show the Lord that you put Him first? Are you willing to do that, or are you too busy playing the Chuck E. Cheese game of life and trying to collect all the tickets that you can so you can get the skateboard and be really cool in front of your friends? Um, you have to put the Lord first, right? And here you have these people. They're like, well, why don't we build the temple? And and then you put all the responsibility on the prophets without doing your part, which our part. There's a lot that we're supposed to do as members of the church. Pay tithing, that helps with like the temporal things, for because it doesn't all just work on uh, magical miracle money. It's real money that people actually have to work for and then consecrate to the Lord. But we have to do all the other stuff too. Serve a mission if you're male. It's a commandment to serve a mission if you can. Um, and then females, if you feel inspired to do so, then do it. And then be member missionaries. That's why we're doing this thing right here, this challenge. 5,937 so far. And please continue. More people join. More Books of Mormon. Let's do it. We don't have to sit on the sidelines and throw it all on President Nelson and everybody else. Be engaged. Okay. Yeah, and then when there's like something hard, oh, Brother Brigham, talking to the prophet, Brother Brigham, but be careful with this. It's hard for them. It's hard for them. Who cares? Like, sympathy, yes. Understanding, yes. But if it's a commandment of the Lord, you know, do it. And I know that Brigham Young and all other church leaders would word it in the right way and with the right spirit, but ultimately, um, it's just like this sensitivity, whether it's tithing or whether it's the word of wisdom or whether it's whatever the case may be. All right, continuing. I wish you to understand me. Wait until this people have paid their tithing before there's any demand made on the Lord. Yeah, see, and he's setting that straight. It's not a demand on the prophet. Really, what people are doing when you talk about the prophet, uh, make demands, complain about him or whatever, what you're really doing is you're making demands and complaining about the Lord. The prophet is the mouthpiece. He does what the Lord commands. And so many times, all we do is see them as just regular people. They're not. They're not. They're not any more regular than Moses was, or Enoch, or Noah, or Elijah, or Elisha. Alicia. Oh, gosh, I forgot how everyone said to pronounce it. I don't care. I don't care. Okay. So, anyway. Wait until this people have paid their tithing before there's any demand made on the Lord or his servants for a temple. If this people rise up and make demands on me for anything that has not been done, or complain about anything that they have done, I'm ready to post up the books and strike a balance sheet and show whether it is you or your president that is the defaulter. If all the brethren understood and would pursue a proper policy, they would do better than they do now. My policy is to get rich. I am a miser in eternal things. Do I want to become rich in the things of this earth? Yes, if the Lord wishes me to have such riches and I can use them to good advantage. See, that's the rub right there, isn't it? How you're going to use your money? Are you going to use it to make your life just really comfy and cozy and just like live like gods? Or are you going to use a portion of that, maybe a sizable portion, to help those around you, help forward the mission of the church? Use it for good. Use it for good other than just everything for yourself. And it doesn't even have to be money. If you have talents, skills, we should be consecrating all that to the Lord as much as we possibly can. So, but yes, become rich. Okay. My policy is to keep every man, woman, and child busily employed, that they may have no idle time for hatching mischief in the night and for making plans to accomplish their own ruin. We see men in our streets employed only in plotting the ruin of this people. But men who are engaged in the canyons, in stores, or in any active labor in the daytime, when night comes, they are glad to rest. Night is the time the idle and the indolent watch for their prey. My policy is to keep everyone busy in building up this kingdom, in building houses, in breaking up land, in setting out fruit and ornamental trees, in laying out fine gardens, pleasant walks, and beautiful groves, and in building academies and other places for learning. There are hundreds of young men here who can go to school, which is far better than to waste their time, study languages, get knowledge and understanding, and while doing this, get wisdom from God, and forget it not, and learn how to apply it, that you may do good with it all the days of your lives. May God bless you. Amen. So I really like this a lot. Okay, there's I would say there's kind of like two big concepts here. Instead of focusing on your material, your accumulation of wealth, think about the Lord and put him first. And yes, there are people that go into the temple that should not. As he says, I'm just going to quote it, some who were devils, or in other words, full of the devil. So people that yield to temptation, people that don't have their hearts in the right place, the tares, the fakers, the people that are the lookalikes, that aren't the real deal. It happens, and it's sad. But don't be dismayed by it. You can still go to the temple, receive all your blessings, your ordinances, and then on top of that, revelation, protection, and all that stuff. I wouldn't worry too much about, oh gosh, am I going to the temple at a time when there's a bad person here? I would not worry about that. I don't think that the Lord is going to withhold things from you. I really don't. Now that's my opinion, but that's, if you guys have any additional information about that, feel free to email it to me and I'll add it to this topic here, endowments. So, okay, but that's going to be it for this one. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also make sure to share it, and I'll talk to you guys later.